I call to order the regular meeting of the City of Aransas Pass City Council, March 18, 2024, at 5:30 p.m. And I'm going to go straight to the notice where during city council meetings, members of the public should not engage in shouting, unruly behavior, defamation, personal affronts, profanity, or threats of any kind. All comments from the audience shall be only addressed to the mayor and council. Citizens who violate these rules will be asked to cease the violation. If the violation continues, the mayor will ask the person to leave the meeting. Now we're going to go to the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Thank you, Father, for your blessings. Thank you, Father, for the rain that we have received. It's a blessing from you, Father. I pray, my Father, that you be with us as far as the city council, that you guide us, my Father, in the decisions that we make, that we have the best interests of our citizens, our residents, in our mind, Lord. Guide us and lead us, and I pray for the peace, my Father, of our state, our city, our country, and especially for Israel, my Father. I pray your blessings and protection over them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go to the consent agenda. All of the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of this item unless a council member so requests. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
I make a motion to approve the agendas for the workshop on February 26th, the regular meeting of March 4th, and the special meeting March 12th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to an executive session of section 551.074 to deliberate the appointment, employment, and duties of the city attorney. And it is 5:32.
You can make it.
Okay, we're going to reconvene in open session to consider and take action, if any, on any item discussed in executive session, and it is 6:20.
And I make a motion to appoint Thomas Goosh, city attorney and prosecutor, and direct the city manager to prepare an employment contract pursuant to agreed terms.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to public hearing. Case number PZ 2403-03, conditional use permit for Rebecca Shed. And it's a public hearing. I'm going to open the public hearing on a request from Rebecca Shed for a conditional use permit to reside in an RV at 952 South Rife in Aransas Pass during construction of a single-family dwelling on the property currently zoned R-7A.
Mayor and council, I'll do this unless someone else is here to do it, once I can find my pointer here. There we go. Okay. Okay. Are Richard and Celia Barnes? Oh. you're
No,
here.
we're on the wrong one.
It's Rebecca Shedd.
Rebecca Shedd.
Oh, okay, hold on. Go back.
Chrome lesson.
Hold on.
Mayor, Council, while they're getting that ready, I just want to excuse myself and thank you all very much for allowing me to interview with you guys and
Thank you.
whoever need my service.
All righty, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Have a good evening.
Hi, you too.
Oh, there we are. Okay, this came before the planning and zoning the other day during the planning and zoning meeting last week. And it was unanimously approved that an RV at 952 South Rife Street be approved during construction of a single-family property at that particular site. Any comments that you would have? Okay.
I have a bunch of stuff if y'all have any questions.
Okay. That's the issue, and if you have any questions, they're here to answer any questions.
Were there any complaints from the neighbors or anything? Okay.
Any questions from the public? No, okay, well, I consider this,
I have a question. I noticed on here that she hasn't submitted a building permit application yet. Is that in the works?
Yes.
Okay.
It
It's in the works? Okay.
It is in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have made some changes.
yeah, but we need to come up to the pulpit, or whatever.
There was a delay because I had made some changes. So right now, this is notes from Kevin, the builder. He said that can't file until the prints are completed and the WPI is filed with the city. Prints are being drawn up now by Aaron Franklin.
Okay.
So we're just waiting on that.
Okay.
Carol's got a question.
Carol Salinas, Aransas Pass, and a member of the Planning and Zoning. There was some confusion at the meeting as to whether they had a building permit application on file, and they had several permits, but they were like electrical permits, plumbing permits, and at that time they did not have a building permit issued by the city. There was confusion about that, but at that time, Monday night, there was not a building permit. So I don't know, and Mr. Osei is not with us, so I'm not real sure what the status on that. Thank you.
Okay.
But it's in the works. It's coming.
Yes, we just didn't have it because of the changes that was made, so it's all in the works and, just got to wait on them now.
Sure.
So Mills Construction is local and they're building your home?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? No. Well, I declare this public hearing closed. And we go to consider an act, an ordinance granting a request from Rebecca Shedd for a conditional use permit for 1 year to allow a recreational vehicle to be placed onto Lot 10 of Townside Block 440, commonly known as 952 South Rife, and used as a temporary dwelling during construction of a single-family dwelling.
I make a motion to grant the request of Rebecca Shedd for a conditional use permit for 1 year to allow the recreational vehicle to be placed on Lot 10 on Townside Block 440, commonly known as 952 South Rife.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're gonna go to case number PZ 2403-04, conditional use permit for Richard Titus and Celia Barnes. Now I'm gonna open a public hearing on a request submitted by Richard Titus and Celia Barnes for a renewal of a conditional use permit to reside in an RV at 624 South Rive in Aransas Pass, Texas, during construction of a single-family dwelling on a property currently zoned R-7A.
This also is a CUP, conditional use permit, and this also was approved by Planning and Zoning on Monday night. And I believe it was 3 years, is that, do you recall?
I think that's right.
Yeah, it was a 3-year period for this particular conditional use permit. And the owners have come before the council as well as P&Z in the past for earlier conditional use permits. This is a renewal because it's not finished, but there has progress has been made. So anything you want to add to that? Okay.
So they're requesting 2 more years?
I thought it was 3 years.
On here it has 2 years?
Oh, and then if that's 2 years, yeah.
Is it-
Yeah, it's good to, 1 year. Sorry, this will be the 3rd year. I was 1 year doing my slab and the dirt work and the fence and everything, and I started my house February 20th last year. And I've got a 2-story house dried in almost completely now in, 13 months and 1 week, so.
So you're asking for 2 more years?
I was trying to get that, but they told me at this past Monday night, they'd only give me 1. But it's, hey, whatever. I'm going to finish the house. I didn't get this far to stop.
To go back, right, sure.
So you're good with 1 more year? You can get it done in next 12
I've
months?
I told the members last week I'm giving it my all. I work 7 days a week on it, and weather permitting or whatever, So I mean it's.
Because on here we have 2 requesting 2 years, and I don't know what they granted.
Well, I had asked for that to begin with, so that I wouldn't have to come back here again if I didn't have to finish next year. I'd rather finish it ahead of 2 years than have to come back and ask for,
I see 1 year.
Yeah.
3.
Oh, P&Z, I see at the very
The,
bottom.
yeah, the applicant requested 2 years, but the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended 1 year.
Okay,
And
I
that's
see it
the
down at the
ordinance you
bottom.
have before you is for a 1-year renewal.
Okay, all right, I see it down here, sorry.
Okay, any other comments from the public? Anybody else, any questions, guys?
What phase are you in? Is it dried in?
It's just about right in. I've got plywood on it, dense glass, and then my siding. You're not going to find a house built like this anywhere around here, not even in Port Aransas. The roof's on, except for the metal. Plumbing's next, then the electrical. But I got to get the rest of the outside done, so it'll be considered, to me, dried in.
Right. Any other questions? Well, I declare this public hearing closed. Now we're going to go to consider an act on ordinance granting a request submitted by Richard Titus and Celia Barnes for a renewal of conditional use permit for 1 year to allow a recreational vehicle to be placed onto Lot 26 and 27, Block 443, commonly known as 624 South Rive Street, and used as a temporary dwelling for security purpose during the construction of a single-family dwelling.
I move to grant Richard Titus and Celia Barnes a renewal of a conditional use permit for 1 year to allow a recreational vehicle to be placed onto Lot 26 and 27, Block 443, commonly known as 624 South Rife Street, and used as a temporary dwelling for security purposes during construction of a single-family dwelling.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're going to go to city manager, which is consider an act and resolution of the city of Aransas Pass suspending the April 4, 2024 effective date of AEP Texas Incorporated as requested rate change to permit the city time to study the request and to establish reasonable rates, approving cooperation with the city served by AEP Texas and authorizing intervention in AEP Texas Incorporated as requested rates change proceeding before the commission. Hiring Lloyd Gosling, attorney and consulting services to negotiate with the company and direct any necessary litigation and appeals requiring reimbursement of city's rate case expense. Finding the meeting at which the resolution is passed is open to the public as required by law, requiring notice of this resolution to the company and legal counsel.
Mayor, council members, Patrick King, AEP Texas. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you this evening. This is a rate settlement agreement that we have filed with the Public Utility Commission. And as part of a settlement agreement with them 4 years ago, they had requested that we file an additional rate review in 4 years. So that's what this request is. The city of Aransas Pass has original jurisdiction over the AEP Texas rate structure within it. And what this is this is the first step in a process to eventually get this rate case to the PUCT for review. We serve actually 375 communities within AEP Texas, over 96 counties. And what we ask the cities to do is either deny or suspend this. It sounds kind of counterintuitive. We're asking for a rate review, and then we come before you to ask you to deny it, and some cities suspend it, which is your resolution tonight. What that'll do is that will carry this rate case over to the Public Utility Commission. It will be heard by the PUCT. All of the interest that we're asking for them to look at, all of the expenses that we're asking them to look at since the last rate review. There will be interveners that come in and testify against what our ask is. It's just a pretty lengthy, drawn-out regulatory process. But it starts with each of our communities at your level to pass this ordinance so it can be reviewed under one big package. And then what that does is at some point in time in the future, when it is determined what the rate review final analysis will be, then we can distribute that rate structure throughout all of our communities in our footprint and our counties in our footprint. And that keeps from having different rate structures in different communities. So it's basically a process that we're asking you to approve this resolution tonight.
Any questions?
Make a motion to act on a resolution of the City of Aransas Pass suspending the April 4th, 2024 effective date of AEP Texas Incorporated's requested rate change to permit the city time to study the request and to establish reasonable rates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to consider and act. Thank you.
Patrick.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
We're going to go to consider an act on awarding request for proposals for the sale of city property ID number 12508, Lamont Street, Block 391, Lot 7 and 8, and 5 of Myrtle Avenue ADJ, to Lot 8, City of Aransas Pass, Aransas County, and property ID number 12460, Lamont Street, Block 345, Lot 32, City of Aransas Pass, in Aransas County.
Good evening.
Good evening. Any questions?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Mr. Robert Cooper, I brought you guys a contract, I brought Gary a contract several months ago, and we have waited and due process. And then the city decided, council decided to put it out to RFP. And so Robert Cooper was the RFP that's been awarded. I'm here merely as a formality on his behalf. He's leaving country, and I am not representing him. I am just the pivotal point here in Aransas Pass for him. And so I did extend to Mary, and we're going to officially...
Well, let me just say that we did issue an RFP. There was 2 bids that were submitted. Mr. Cooper submitted a bid for both properties. For property ID number 12508, his bid was in the amount of $2,570. And the other property, 12460, he submitted a bid in the amount of $420. Mr. Lunsky also submitted a bid for one property, the 12508. His bid was in the amount of $1,400. For the record, Aransas County Appraisal District has valued the property for 12508 at $2,570, which is the amount of bid by Mr. Cooper. And then for the property 12460 was valued at $420, which is the amount of bid that Mr. Cooper submitted.
And may I, Mayor, Council, if you'll recall, there was an executive session on this some time ago, and Mr. Cooper had procured the property, and it is landlocked with these 2 properties that he is requesting. And so if you need a reminder of that, just putting it out there, that he was going to develop that whole area, but it would be landlocked without these 2 pieces of property. And congratulations to whoever searched the bowels of the abyss for the 2 deeds that have been fruitless until last week. So bravo there.
Wow, bravo.
Found
Thank
the 2
you.
deeds on the properties.
Thank
Now
you,
if we
thank
can just
you.
get the one out there in the 16 acres, I will do a backflip.
Oh, please do.
Someone's going to have to catch me, but I will do a backflip.
All right. Thank you, Melinda.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Favor of the council.
Well, I make a motion that we, approve the request for the sale of 25508 Lamont Street, Block 391, Lot 7 and 8 and 5 of Myrtle Avenue, adjacent to Lot 8, City of Aransas Pass, Aransas County, and property ID number 12460 Lamont Street, Block 345, Lot 32, Aransas Pass, Aransas County, to Mr. Cooper.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're gonna go all the way to Development Services, which is consider and act on issuance of a request for qualifications for engineering services for the drainage improvement for Saunders and Jackson Place.
Good evening, good evening, Mayor, Council. As we're getting complaints on drainage issues on Saunders and Beasley, I had discovered there was a ditch that literally went to a dead end that's supposed to head east. And looking into it, there was supposed to be a history of a drainage ditch being expanded over there. It never was, whatever the case is. So now basically it's, instead of asking for RFP, I'm asking for an RFQ, just request for qualifications to hire an engineering firm who can actually do a drainage study and design what size of ditch or underground pipe we're going to need to get that ditch continued and completed.
City moving forward.
Will the drainage district do anything to help out with any of this?
I know they do have a fund that we're able to tap into, and that's what our plan is, to use some of that fund for here. But I would rather us manage it ourselves versus give it to somebody else to do it. I'd rather us manage it and ask for reimbursement.
Gotcha.
So that's what the plan is.
Okay, thanks, David.
Any other questions?
I make a motion to act on the issuance of an RFQ for engineering services for drainage improvements for Saunders and Jackson Place.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now we're going to go to city council or staff announcements.
There is you should have received a copy of the drought flyer stage 2. We're now in stage 2, and I think it's going on our webpage. Is that correct? We follow what Corpus does, since we use the same water. They are in stage 2, and consequently, we go to stage 2. There's some different prohibitions related to stage 2. That are not in stage 1, and we will abide by those also. So just want to make you aware of what, and you probably have received a copy of this already, but just want to make you aware and the public aware of this as a reminder, and we'll continue to put this word out.
Did the flyer go out with the water bills?
The water bill was already out. We couldn't do that, so we are sending it, and maybe that's occurred already, to the newsletter mailing. And it's going to be, as I said, it's going to be on the city's webpage also. And those are the people it's going to at this point.
Okay.
Will
I
it go
think I would
out?
suggest it go out with the water bill, because everybody
And the
gets
next
that.
one.
Everybody
Yes.
doesn't get
It
the
would be the
newsletter.
next one, yes.
Okay, next month. Okay.
And then we have the March 24 Easter egg hunt from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Aransas Pass Civic Center.
That's it.
Okay. Now, we're going to go to citizen comments. Citizen comments are intended for the matters that are not scheduled on the agenda. Please limit your comment to 3 minutes and state your name and address for the record. Be advised that the Texas Open Meeting Act prohibits the city council from responding and discussing your comments. The law authorizes the following: make a statement of factual information, recite existing policy, advise that this subject may be placed on an agenda for a subsequent meeting.
Go ahead. My name is Richard Titus. I live at 624 South Rive, and I just got 2 little issues that need to be dealt with. For the last 6 months, I've tried to get hold of Mr. Edwards' office, find out how many signatures do I need on a petition to stop the speeding up and down South Rive Street, because there's 6 to 7 blocks, there's not a stop sign one. And I watch the people run the stop sign at my block constantly. There's already been accidents there. You know, Chief Blanchard, you've been out there for a couple of accidents and other issues that take place. I'd like to see stop signs put up. Speed limit signs aren't going to work. Maybe speed bumps will help slow them down. Something, just something in that 6-block radius, because it's a shortcut for people that don't go the other streets because they got stop signs. And the last thing is, there's too many cats and wild animals in my neighborhood, and actually this whole city in South Texas. What can we do about this? You know, I was told when I first moved here, buy a cage, trap it. Certain days we'll come pick it up. After hours we don't, and weekends we don't. Or if it's been in the cage overnight. Come on, you're allowed eight animals, right, in your house? What happens if you're feeding 20 or 30? Are those your animals? You know, because I got 2 people on my corner down on the opposite side of me that do that. So there's like 40 or 50 cats that run around here. So what can we do about this? You know, I bought a cage, I trapped them, but they constantly have kittens over and over and over and over and over on my property. So what can we do about this? You need animal control? I'll be animal control.
Is that something we can look into, Gary, as far as signs? Okay.
Mayor and council, if you'll stick around after the meeting, I'll visit with them. I can handle both issues.
Okay.
Carol Salinas, Aransas Pass, and I want to comment on Mr. Titus' comment about the cats. I got a cat trap, have been trapping cats, but the last I was told, and I'm not sure if that's changed, was the animal control would pick them up, They had a person who had donated money. They would take the cats and neuter them, spay them, and then they would bring them back and they would turn them loose in the same area they came from. And I'm glad to see that they would be neutered, spayed, but I don't want them there doing what they do. And that was the whole purpose of me catching them, was to get rid of them. So I don't know what the status on that is now, but I just, to take them and just turn them loose in the same area was not what I was hoping to have accomplished. Thank you.
Mayor, I got a comment on that. Factual comment here for you. The policy is called TNR. It's a program. It's trap, neuter, and release. And in that procedure, we are required to release them in the general vicinity from where they were trapped. That's kind of the situation we have right now. We don't have a cat facility to necessarily house cats alone. But I'm happy to explore other options with the public as needed.
Thanks.
My name's Tina Spears. I live at 145 11th Street. My issue is Chris's Marine, and I've tried multiple times to talk to city employees, and I either don't get called back or it doesn't get handled. And I've worked with cities. I worked with Ingleside, and now I'm with Portland. I know codes. I know laws. I'm an animal control officer. I'm certified, but so this guy just gets to have unhitched boats on the road, and I know that's a state law that you cannot have that. He has no customer parking, so his customers come to drop off his boat. It's on our roadway. He has 2 forklifts and a tractor that moves boats constantly from this fenced area to this fenced area, and it's all day. There's also, you go up to the stoplight, you're supposed to have the vision triangle where you could see. You cannot, because there's so much boats, cars. There's even a fire hydrant right there that they're parking right up on. He has no employee parking. He's parking on San Patricio County's lot across the street. I've had to put up a barrier in my yard to keep him from parking boats in my yard. The address across from me, I don't know it, but it was a vacant resident lot. He got to park unhitched boats there and use that property until they started building the house. Haven't seen any boats there. They put up a barrier. Well, today there's 2 boats in front of that new construction. I got told to try to handle it myself. I spoke to him. He told me I knew what I was moving into. And also when I'm backing out of my driveway, you cannot see because he has boats lined up all the way. So you can't see anything until your butt of your car's out. And in my back seat, I have 2 kids. So I'm worried about these people when there's unhitched boats. Like I almost got in a wreck last week. One unhitched boat here, one here, and there's just a little gap to go through. As I'm trying to go through that gap, one of the customers almost backed into me. I had to swerve into my yard. My driveway gets blocked from them and the customers. I get home from work. My mom's babysitting my kids till me and my husband get off. She has to leave to go to her job in the health field, and she gets blocked in my driveway and can't leave. She's had to drive through my grass to leave my property. And I'm just wondering why we're not doing nothing. Why does he get away with breaking codes and laws? And I got told it's because who he is, because he has 2 businesses, because he does all kinds of stuff for our community. I mean, that's nice, but I mean, we should all be held accountable, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, it is something we have been working on and sent several people out there, and they can't argue with the issue. And it's something we're going to continue to work on, but it's something we've been working on well over a year at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Jason Followell. Okay, so I have some topics to talk about. I got to tell a little truth to the citizens of this town, and since you people control the media, Roland Rodriguez is on your payroll with Channel 6, and the Progress is definitely being paid by you guys, so they never get the truth. So I'm going to talk to you about what happened. So I've got 15 different cases by Chief Blanchard and you guys against me, and I won every single one of them. This is case number AP 21787801. Not guilty. This is for Chief Blanchard's illegal warrant. This was signed by Judge Bean. I am not guilty, and the warrant had no probable cause. Chief Blanchard told me that that judge was just a civil attorney, so it didn't matter, and he was going to appeal it, in which he did. Case number 933B, not guilty. Case number 9134B, not guilty. Case number 9135, not guilty. Case number 91936, not guilty. Case number 91937B, not guilty. Case number 91938B, not guilty. Case number 9901, not guilty. Case number 7001, not guilty. Case number 470101, not guilty. Case number 470201, not guilty. Case number 47031, not guilty. Case number 47051, not guilty. That is 15 different times that I beat that man in court. So my question to you guys is, can I be put on the agenda till we talk about his termination? Ram, asking you a question. I'm sorry, sir, but it's right here and you read it out to me. Advise the subject may be placed on the agenda of subsequent meetings. Asking you the same question that you said you were allowed to answer. Please answer me, sir. So when you say this up here, you lie to the public? These are your own words you read out loud to everybody here. Make a statement of factual information, and I can be placed on the agenda. So I'm going to ask you again, Ram. Please quit ignoring me because that's a 14th Amendment right violation. Can I be placed on the agenda to fire your corrupt piece of shit guy right there?
Here we go again.
I had enough of that, Gary. I'm talking. Do not interrupt.
Here we go. Here
Thank
we go
you.
again. We're not going to put up with your profanity.
I am
or
talking.
anything like
I have
that.
3
I'm
minutes.
just telling
Please
you.
be quiet.
I'm just telling you.
Please be quiet unless
I'm
you're going to
just
answer my
telling you.
question. I'm just telling you.
You
Right
be
now,
nice.
right now.
You be nice.
Right, okay. Mr. Tyrant Ram Gomez, the scumbag sitting in front of me. Will you please put the agenda for that piece of shit to be on the, for me to get him fired?
That's number two.
Wait a minute, so you're okay with him harassing me and bullying me, but you're not okay, and I beat him 15 times? Do not touch me, that's assault.
Okay, I'm not.
You did touch me and that's assault. I will be filing charges on you. My time was not up. You're getting sued again, there's another one. I need your name and badge number.
Anybody else?
You're not allowed to touch me. You're following the law of the water, too. You're getting sued personally, too. Sorry, you work for
Okay, no. Adjourn the meeting.
Oh.
Yeah. Any other citizens' comments?
I'm just so glad I don't act like he does when I come in here and I got issues to discuss.
Well, we're so glad you don't act that way also. I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?